Good morning, barely. It is my pleasure to recommend Bob Morris for the 3rd District Congressional seat. You know, when we arrived here this morning, we had a chance to walk the hallways of this neat little school. And a couple of things that we noticed. Signs hanging from the top of the ceiling, maybe you saw them, invoking the kids to develop common sense, to develop trustworthiness, to develop an active listener's ability. And that is what Bob Morris represents. He is indeed an active listener. And it's that trait that allowed him to develop his business and be the success that he is at the small business level. Bob is a graduate of Indiana University School of Business. He understands profit and loss. He understands budgets. He understands balance sheets, and he knows how to apply the appropriate accounting ratios to squeeze out efficiencies. Isn't that what we're looking for in our government? Efficiencies? So, Bob Morris is a man who understands the threat of socialism. Bob Morris is a man who is committed to and understands Midwestern values. He has them all. Bob Morris is an active listener par excellence. Bob Morris is a man with a high sense of honor. Bob Morris is a man with a deep sense of personal responsibility. Bob Morris is a strict constitutionalist. Ladies and gentlemen, I offer for your consideration Bob Morris, candidate for Congress.
I want to thank each and every one of you for coming here today. You are true Americans. I am so proud to be a citizen of these United States. And I actually brought my birth certificate to prove it. Seriously, our country is in turmoil. We are on the edge of financial collapse. My candidacy is focused on restoring the timeless values of God, country, and family. And then Bob Morris goes to work. Over the course of the last 80 years, our nation has lost its ways. Those dynamics that made America strong, our sovereignty, our individual dignity, and our national integrity have been lost to an obese federal government now oblivious to the rights granted to each and every one of us by natural law. You've heard what the other candidates are for, so I'm going to tell you something different. Restoring these United States requires a bold approach, new energy, and fierce determination. But first, because Republicans have often been labeled as the party of no, and since I am a good Republican, let me say this. I am not for spending our children's money and our grandchildren's money on any pet project of any member of Congress. I am not for this administration's record of weakening our U.S. military. I believe if we send a man or woman to war, that congressperson better be prepared to pick up a rifle and fight himself. I am not for running the Treasury's printing presses 24 hours a day, destroying the wealth of our nation, and worthless and making our currency worthless. I will never support government health care, never support amnesty for illegal aliens, and I will never apologize for the great United States of America. We are in a grave situation. Like I said, this nation is on the verge of economic collapse. Until we send men and women to Congress with my determination, with my energy, and my commitment to restoring American values, our country will continue to go into turmoil. The process and the work of restoring the United States begins today by respecting our Constitution, reinstating the rights of our states, and repairing the privileges of citizenship. We all know that the U.S. Constitution is written on a piece of parchment, and the document has survived well over 200 years. But I'm not so sure its values have. I am asking today that you vote Bob Morris for Congress. But what I'm really asking for is that you vote Bob Morris for America. Thank you very much.